I shall repeat my explanation on this question number 10 from the question set of chapter 15, section 2. I repeat, we are doing question chapter number 15, which is on string handling. Section 2, question number 10. State the output of the following program segment. Just let me point out to you, if there's any kind of box or patch appearing on the screen, point it out to me in the, so I'll ensure that it doesn't remain on the screen. I would just need to stop the screen share and share it again. State the output of the following program segment. We have str1, a string with the contents great, str2 having the now system.out.println. We have to solve this method, string methods. Now notice if we just try to read it and understand it, it starts with str1 dot substring. Take the substring part of the string of str1 and concatenate it with a substring of str2. Now here it is very necessary for us to understand that what are we going to evaluate first? Shall we be going to right and just be solving them one after the other? I would have said yes, we would have gone left to right, and we'll be going left to right, except for this, what is written in this pair of bracket str2 dot substring. This what is written in this pair of brackets, which is being argument to concat method, is going to be evaluated first, very first. So the innermost bracket, which has str2 dot substring and with argument 1, we are going to evaluate first. str2 dot substring 1 means from str2 1, that is I, where you have I, till the end, we want to extract all the characters. So we get the string INDS. This will be given as a parameter to the concat method. Yeah, this string INDS, which we extracted from str2 using substring, this string will be concatenated with an. Now what is that? So we're going to evaluate now str1 dot substring 0, 2 with argument 0, 2. That means from str1, okay, we want to take the sub part of the string. So starting from index position 0, going up to 2. So when we specify end as 2, the we will get would be actually be having the index position 1. So we will get two characters, one position 0 and 1, that is G and R. Okay. And now this G and R will be concatenated with the result we got from the earlier substring, that is INDS. The two will be concatenated, and the result will be GR INDS, which will be printed on the screen on the terminal window. So this would be the output of the first line, system.out.println. So we had done till here, and that's when I'm saying we go ahead with the next statement now. System.out.println WH, this string WH is to be concatenated with plus operator is again a concatenator. It will be this WH string will be characters will be concatenated with str1 dot substring 2. So in str1, in position index position 2 till the end, okay, index position 2 is G being in position 0, R being in 1, E, A, T being in position. So position 2 is where we have the character E. Okay, from E till the end of the string, the three characters EAT we would get. Okay, that is what str1.substring2 will give us. Let me write it over here. Let me type it over here. It will give us the character T. Okay. Now what is going to be done further? This result of str1.substring2, that is the letters EAT, will be this result that we obtain from substring will be given to the method to uppercase, which will convert the characters EAT to upper. Okay, so EAT, the string EAT is passed on to the method to uppercase, which we know will convert the three letters to uppercase and give us the string EAT with letters EAT in uppercase. This would be concatenated with the letters W and H. So the final result will be WHEAT. Okay, the letters WH and along with that EAT will be concatenated and it will be printed on the screen. So on the screen, we're going to see wheat without double quotes. As we know, the string will not appear in the output in double quotes. Our discussion on question number 10 now. Any doubts? We proceed to the next. The data type returned by the library functions compare to method compares two strings and gives us a result which will be integer value. Okay, if the two strings are same, it gives us 0. If first string is greater than the second string, we get a positive integer. If the first string is lesser than the second string, we get a negative integer. So the return type of compared to is an integer value, whereas the return type of equals method, which will compare two strings and just give us true or false, would be a Boolean value. We have discussed this some earlier questions. Next. Okay, the next question now we're going to discuss is 12 number. What is the value stored in variable res given below? Double res, variable res is double type. And after that, we have the assignment operator, and then we have math.pow. POW method, the arguments that are being given to the POW method is a string 345. Yeah, it's a string 345. You put in double quotes, it's a string dot index of 5. Okay, now what is being done is we are in a way, we want to find out the position of the digit 5 in string 345. What is the index position of 5 in the string 345? So 3 being in index position 0, 4 being in 1, 5 is in 2. So the position, index position of digit 5 in this string 345 is 2. That will act as the base for the POW method, and 3 will be the power for the POW method. So very first, I'll just do the working. 345 in double quotes dot index of position index of and the character we are specifying is 5. So we want the position of 5 in the string 345. Of this is 2. So this 2 will be acting as one of the parameters for the POW method. So your POW method will get the result of the index of method 2, and that would be raised to the power of 3. So 2 raised to the power of 3 would be 8. This would be the result that would be stored in a variable res. Okay, and the output would be 3.0 because res is a double type variable. Sorry, 8.0 will be the output. But they have not asked for the output as such, they asked for the value stored. But then too, you mention the answer as this result 8.0. Don't mention it as just 8. Mention it as a double value 8.0. Okay, once again, any doubts about question solution to this question number 12? I repeat, if there's any box while I'm checking the chat box or when I'm getting the annotate, toolbar on the screen, if there's any patch coming up on your screen, do let me know. Now to question number 13. State the output when the following program segment is executed. String A has the text smartphone and B start with a space in between. String H, okay, is where we have used a method a dot substring 2 comma 5. So we have to see the result of this. A dot substring 2 comma 5. So our string A has smartphone and index position 2 is where we have the letter A. Okay, position 0, M being in 1, A is index position 2. From here till the position 5. So when we specify the end as 5 in substring, we'll actually get the character with the last character we'll be getting will be till index 4. So the characters will be A being in 2, R being in position 3, and T being in position 4. So that would be the substring that we'll be getting ART. And these three characters will be stored in the string H. So H will be actually the string H will be actually getting the characters ART. Now B dot substring bracket 8 dot 2 uppercase. Now, would you tell me over here in this case, in this statement, which method are we going to execute first and which method are we going to execute next? In the chat box, send me your answer. B dot substring bracket 8 dot 2 uppercase. I repeat, which method would be executed first amongst the two? Yes, first the substring method would be executed. Here the methods will be executed from left to right. Okay, as you see why, if you ask me why, the reason is there is no method which is there in a pair of round brackets, which otherwise we would have evaluated. There would have been any method in a pair of round brackets in parentheses, we would have evaluated that first. So here we'll be going from left to right. So first we'll be executing over here p dot substring bracket 8. So a string B, which is graphic art, and index position 8. Let's check the index position 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 is where the space is, and 8 is the where we have the letter capital A. From there till the end, all the characters will be extracted. So we'll get the characters ART. That would be the result of the substring, and this will be converted to uppercase. Now, string ART will be given to the uppercase method, and the method uppercase to uppercase will convert all the characters to uppercase. So the result of that would be the string ART with all the 3 letters in uppercase, and this will be stored in K. So K would get a string K will get the characters ART case. Now next statement, system.out.println H, we want to print the string H. So the output of output that we'll get would be the string H is in small case, that would be printed. I'll mention the output. Okay, systematically output, the first would be the string H with the characters ART. Okay, then now let us see the next print statement, system.out.print. Okay, what do we want to print? Try to understand. We are not just printing the string K. Okay, so don't make the mistake of writing ART in capital letters, the contents of K. No, K dot equals ignore case H. That means compare K with H. Okay, we have written earlier H, the contents of H are A, letters ART in small, and the contents of K are letters ART in capital. We are telling, using the equals ignore case method to compare the contents of K and H, and we have used equals ignore case, means we are telling Java to ignore the case. So yes, actually the content and H has same ignoring the case, and the result of this will be a Boolean value true. So on the second line, the output we are going to get is true. The result of this method equals ignore case. Okay, tell me if you have any doubts about this question or the solution. Question number 14, name a string method which removes leading and trailing spaces from a string. Which is the method which remove leading? Leading means the spaces at the beginning and trailing means the spaces at the end of a string. The method is trim. We have learned this earlier. Name a string method that will convert the int value 1, 2, 3, 4 to its string equivalent. That means the method which will convert this integer value into a string. Okay, the method is value of method. We would write the argument that we'll provide in bracket, we'll write 1, 2, 3, 4, and the result that we'll obtain from this method would be a string containing the characters 1, 2, 3, and 4, a string value. The method is value of, we have to just name that method, we don't have to write it. Okay, that means I repeat, we don't have to put the value for in brackets and then print, write the print statement to print the result. We just have to name the method. Next one now. State the output when the following program segment is executed. So this is the program and we have to mention the output. We'll discuss the solution, the output for this program. We'll do proper detailed working. Character ch, we have a character variable by the name ch. Another x variable, integer variable with the value 97. Okay, so we have a variable x with the value 97. And then in the next line, a do while loop is starting. Now in a do, no condition at the beginning. So we directly go inside the loop and execute this statement. So without any check, we are allowed to go inside the do while loop. So we go inside the do while loop. And this statement, we are executing this statement now. Ch equal to char x. Ch equal to char x. The variable x, which is the integer variable having the value 97, we are converting it to character type. That means we are in a way determining the ASCII, we are for the ASCII code 97. What is the equivalent of ASCII code 97? Let me tell you, it is the alphabet A in lowercase, and that is stored in the variable ch, which is a character type variable. So we are in a way doing typecasting. We are converting integer value to character type. Here this integer value has 97. The corresponding character for that is A, that is stored in variable ch, and system.out.print. Notice there is we have a print method over here and not print. We are printing that character A and concatenating it with a space. So in the output, we will get the character A in lowercase with a space after that. Then we have an if statement after the print. Remember, this is not println, it is print. So we'll be printing the further output on the same line. If x percentage 10 equal to 0, I'll write down the contents of a variable x, which was 97, and the contents of the variable ch, which is a, which we printed. Now, in the if statement, it is being checked. Value of x when divided by 10, which is 97, when we divide it by 10, is the remainder 0. Now, tell me in the chat box, when you divide 97 by 10, what is the remainder actually? What would be actual value? What is the remainder going to be actually? Yes, the remainder will be 7. Okay, so I'll just mention it over here. Percentage 10. Okay, in this case, x being 97, percentage 10. Okay, the result of this is 7. So we know that the remainder is not equal to 0. The condition is not satisfied. Okay, now if this condition would have been satisfied, that means if on dividing x by 10, if the remainder would have been 0, we would have executed the break statement. But the condition we said is not satisfied. The remainder is not 0, it is 7. So we'll skip the break statement, which is written inside if, and we go to the next statement, that is this x plus plus. Remember, in this if statement, there is one statement that is break, whereas this statement x plus plus that you see is not within the if, it is the next statement. So when the condition is not satisfied, we directly go to this statement x plus plus. That means when the condition is not satisfied, we directly to this statement x plus plus. We increment the value of x, so x becomes 98. X, which was 97, is now incremented by 1 and becomes 98. Now we go to come to the closing curly braces. This closing curly braces, after this closing braces, we come to the while statement and check the condition for the do while loop. Is x less than equal to 100? The value of x is 98. So this condition x less than equal to 100 is satisfied. And the do while loop now, since the condition is satisfied, will take me to the do statement and will allow me to execute the loop for the second time now. So we come inside the loop for the second time. This time the value of x being 98. Okay, we convert this integer to character type and store the corresponding character for the ASCII code 98 in CH. So the corresponding character for 98, ASCII code 98 is B, lowercase b. This is stored in CH. And we print it on the same line, B with a space after that. So in the output, we now get the contents of the character variable ch, that is B, and then a space again. Now we again come to the if statement, check if x percentage 10 is equal. The value of x is 98 now. So it would be check whether 98 when we divide by 10 is the remainder 0. Tell me what is the remainder when we divide 98 by 10 this time. The remainder is 8. So again, the remainder is not 0 this time. The condition is not satisfied. So this if statement will take us to the statement x plus plus. So we are still executing the break statement. We are now executing the statement x plus plus, incrementing the value of x. So x becomes 99. Curly braces. We come to the curly braces. And then we come to the while and the condition. Check the condition. Is the value of x less than equal to 100? The value of x is 99. Yes, it is less than 100. Condition is satisfied. The while statement will send me back to the do and allow me to execute the loop again. So now we are executing the loop for the third time with the value of x being 99. Now 99, we are converting it to character type. 99 being the ASCII code. Corresponding character for the code 99 is C, lowercase c. Okay. This is stored in the variable ch. Remember last session I had shared with you the ASCII code. Once again, for your reference, I'll just type the ASCII codes of the characters of lowercase, characters in lowercase. So the ASCII codes of characters 97 to A to Z are 22. That's why when we converted 97 to character type, we stored the character lowercase a in ch variable, then b, then c. So now c is stored in the variable ch. We print the contents of variable ch, which is the character c, put and give a space. We come to the if statement, check if x is divisible by 10. That means when we divide x 99 by 10, is the remainder 0? This time, tell me what would be the remainder of 99 divided by 10? This time the remainder is 9. Again, the remainder is not 0. So the condition is still not satisfied. And when the condition is not satisfied, we will go, the if statement will take us to the statement outside the if, that is this statement x plus plus. The value of x becomes 100 now. Closing curly, we come to closing curly braces, which is for the do while loop, and then check the condition written in the while statement. Is x less than equal to 100? The value of x this time is 100. Though it is not less than 100, but it is equal to 100. So the condition is satisfied. The condition is true. And we are again sent to the do statement and execute the loop for the fourth time now. And this time the variable x has 100. We convert it to character type and store it in ch. This time the character corresponding for the code 100 is letter D in lowercase. We're going to print this in the output, D with a space after that on the same line. Then we check if, in the if statement, we check if x, the value of x is 100. When we divide by 10, is the remainder 0? Now tell me this time, the value of x being 100, when we divide, what would be the remainder? Tell me. This time the remainder of dividing 100 by 10 is 0. So our condition, which is checking whether the remainder is equal to 0, is satisfied. Okay, this time the condition is satisfied. At this point of time, when x is 100, we divide it by 10, the remainder is 0, yes. The break statement is executed this time. The break statement will take us out of the loop. Okay, so we actually come out of the loop. And say that our code is ending, our program ends over there, or our code ends. And we have to mention the output. That's the end of our code. And the output that is generated on the screen is A, B, C, D, A space, B space, C space, D. Okay, we have completed our discussion on this program now. Have you understood this? Do you have any doubts? You can take a screenshot if you want. Okay, this text which is in blue will be, you'll get it in the PDF and I share it with you. But the arrow markings that you see, okay, markings would not be there in the PDF. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. Proceed to the next problem. Next question, state the difference between double equal to and the equals method. Now, I will just read the answer. The double equal to operator checks for reference equality, whereas the equals method checks for value equality. Now, I have not discussed this aspect of comparison. Okay, I have not discussed this particular point with you. So I'll plan to have a discussion on this maybe in the next session. The concept is a bit technical, so I'll give a thought whether we actually want to go into having a detailed discussion on this. You see, basically, unnecessarily, if something which is not very important but very technical, we would like to unnecessarily not bother ourselves much with it. So I'll give a thought on this and get back to you in the next session. I would have given a simpler answer to this difference. Okay, I would just type my answer to this, which would be less technical and it would be a simpler answer. Double equal to operator is used to check if two values are equal or not. It can be used with integer data type, float. You see, when I say integer, it includes long, float includes double. And equals method is used to check if two strings are same or not. It can be used with string data type. I would not with string. So this would be my simple explanation to this. And as I said, the explanation given by the author is a bit technical. And remember this point, when we were discussing about equals method, if you remember in our third session, we had some kind of a interruption. For some reason, we were not getting the proper results. So at that particular time, I actually avoided some kind of technical, going into the technicality with respect to this equal to and double equal to operator method. So as I said, I will rethink on this, whether we really want to go into that technical stuff. We would like to keep it simple if it is not really important to go into that discussion. Or as you know, at times such things, okay, depending on their importance, we would discuss them later on. If we think, if explain it to you. Okay, so we are not avoiding our responsibility. We are trying to keep it simple. I clarify that. We go to the 17th one now. Give the output of the following string function. The string Mississippi is being given to the index of, I repeat, Mississippi is being given to the index of method, and we are telling index of to look for the occurrence of S. Now we understand that in this string, S is occurring many times. So, but index of, as you know, will give us the occurrence of the first letter S. So the index position of that is 0. The first occurrence of S, the index position is 2. And again, Mississippi is being given to last index of method, and we are asking the index of I. So the letter I is also occurring in the string many a times, but we want the occurrence of the last letter I. Okay, index position of the last occurrence of I. Let's check this up. The last I, what is the index position? Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The index position is 10. Now the first method gives us the position 2, the second method gives us the position, and these values that the 2 will give us will be integer values. Huh? So the first index of method gives us the result 2, and the second one gives us the index position 10. These both being integer values, they are added up, and the result that we are going to get will be 12. So if this was written in a system.out.println, it would print 12. That would be our answer, integer value 12. Yeah, remember the result will be an integer value because we are adding up the position given to us by index of is integer, the position given to us by last index of is also integer, and we are adding two integers. The result will be 12 in this case. Next question, cable string is being given to compare to method to be compared with cadet. Now, obviously these two strings are not the same. So the comparison will be first happening on the first character of both the strings, they are same. So the second character will be compared, A and A of both the strings, they are same. Now the third character is being compared. In the string one, in one string, it is cable string, it is the third letter, and in the other string, now we have to, I'm mentioning in the working, the ASCII code of the letter B is telling the code of the letter capital B. Yesterday, last session, I've given to you the ASCII codes of capital letters as well as small letters. And I've been telling you all time and time again, right from the beginning of the course, even in the first semester, I expect you all to remember the ASCII codes of capital letters and small letters. I've told you time, those ASCII codes you have to remember at least. I repeat, what is the I have retyped it over here, ASCII code of capital B. The ASCII code of letter capital B is 66. And now, next we are going to compare this. We are going to check up what would be the ASCII code of capital D. Tell me what is the ASCII code of. Yes, it is 68. So what we are going to do is, the calculation would be like this: 66 minus 68. Yeah, first we take the ASCII code of B66 and subtract that with the ASCII code of D68 and we get -2. This would be the output. This is the result we're going to obtain. If this was written in a system.out.println, -2 would be printed. Just let me save my file. Question number 18 now. Now remember, when I'm solving this question bank, okay, while I'm solving this, I remember we have already solved this kind of question. So we are still solving it so as to revise the concept. So indirectly, many concepts of SEM 1 would get revised while in the process of kind of problems. System.out.println. Okay, in this println statement, we have a string with the letters O and E. And after that, we are concatenating that string with an integer value 1 and further again concatenating it with 1. Okay, now we're going to see what would be the output. Let me tell you, the output would be, first the string 1 would be concatenated with an integer. Now, 1 being a string, the word 1 being a string and 1 being an integer value, they'll be, when they are concatenated, it will result into a string ONE and the digit 1. So this would be the result, ONE and 1, digit 1. This itself will be a string. And so this string with these 4 characters, ONE1, this will be concatenated with the second digit 1. And it will, the result will be the string ONE11. All this would be concatenated to make a string, a single string. Okay, somebody would think that the output would be ONE and the numeric value 2. No, that this would be the wrong answer. Okay, this is an incorrect answer. The correct answer is ONE and then digit 11. Now in the next statement, system.out.println, in the next statement, system.out.println, we have 2 plus the word 2. Now, when the computer goes, if we remember the hierarchy of operators, and if we have operators with the same hierarchy, we're going to evaluate them from left to right. So we start from left. First thing that would be done would be this arithmetic operator plus would be executed. 2, integer value 2 will be added with 2. Now, both of them being integer, Java would choose to add them up. So in this case, 2 and 2 will not be concatenated. They'll be added up to give me the value 4. So we get the new 4, integer value 4. And this integer value that we got as a result of 2 plus 2 will be concatenated with the word TWO. Yes, in this case, the digit 4, integer value 4, will be concatenated with TWO. So the second print statement will give us this as a result. Try to understand when in the statement, the computer Java finds 2 integers first, so it adds them up, and the result of that, which is 4, is concatenated with the string 2. In the first print statement, we are starting with a string. So that string is concatenated with the numeric value or the integer value 1 to ONE1, and that further is concatenated with the digit 1 with the integer value 1 to make the string ONE11. So when in this case, the first print statement, the computer started with the string ONE, it decided to concatenate it with this integer value because it found a string. So it thought, okay, we basically want to do, after the string, it saw this plus operator. So it assumed that we have to concatenate. And that's correct. That's a correct assumption. ONE11 would be the result. Here I would add one more statement from my. System.out.println, open brackets, the string, and that is, after that I put the plus operator, and in brackets I've written 1 plus 1 numeric values, integer values. Okay, send me your answer in the chat box. We have discussed this earlier during the first semester. In this case, the computer is going to evaluate the first pair of round brackets, this one containing 1 plus 1, both integers. So they'll be added up to give us the value 2. So that integer value 2 will be concatenated with the word 1. So the output would be, in this case, ONE and then the integer value 2. ONE and then 2, because in this case, very first we evaluated the innermost bracket, which has 2 integer values. It was done with these 2 integer values, and that was concatenated with the word 1. Question: if string X has the string computer and string Y has applications, what do the following functions return? System.out.println x.substring 1,5. So my string X, and we want to find the substring from the string X starting from index 1 up to 5. Send me your answer in the chat box. Index position 1 is where we have the letter O. Okay, now when in substring, when we specify the end as 5, we'll get the last character with index position 4. So actually we get characters from 1 to 4. That is, 1 is O, 2 is P is 3, and U is 4. So the result we're going to get is the letters O, M, P, U. And then next statement, system.out.x.index of x.char at 4. Okay, now you have to think over here which method will be executed first. Tell me in the chat box which method will be executed first, index or char at. Okay, carefully see how they are written. X.index of, and its index of method within the bracket as an argument is .char at method. Which method will be executed first in this case? Correct, char at. So the innermost bracket x.char at will be evaluated first. Okay, char at 4 from x, which is the character at position 4. Tell me, index position 4 in x, which is a character at index position 4. Yes, the letter U, the character U. Okay, character U is given to x dot index of. Okay, so now x dot index of, to this we are giving the character U. That means we are asking index of method, you tell me the position of the character U string X. In the string X, you tell me the position of the character U. This is what we are telling index of. So tell me what would be the result? What is the result we are index of will give us? Yes, character U string X, which is computer, the character U is in position 4. Okay, so 4 will be the output, and that is what will be printed. Actually, what we have done is something roundabout. To character at, we are asking what character you have in position 4. It tells us U. We are giving this U to index of and telling index of, tell me what is the position of U. So it tells me 4. It seems a bit illogical, but this was a tricky one. So the final result will be 4. Okay, the output would be 4 in this case. Remember, you're not going to write the working as a part of your output. This is only for your understanding purpose. Okay, so to a great extent, to be very regard to the output, you refer to the solution answer given by the author. I've included the working also. I'm not saying what I've given is incorrect, but as you see, I've included the explanation to the steps involved in this statement, in the second statement. Now, let us solve the third statement. System.ln y, which is the string applications, and that should be concatenated with x dot substring 5. Now tell me what is the result of x dot substring 5? What will x dot substring 5 give us? In x, from position 5, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is its character TER till the end, is what you're going to obtain the result of this substring. Okay, this should be concatenated with y. So your string y, which is applications, and that should be concatenated with these three letters we got. So it would be applications, and that is concatenated with TER. Applications, and then TER. Okay, application is a string stored in variable y, and that should be concatenated with the result of x dot substring 5, which was TER. So this is my result. Output, it will not appear with double quotes, so I'm just removing the double quotes. They'll not appear in the output. Next, system.out.println x dot equals y. X is computer and y is applications. Are they equal or false? Boolean answer we're going to get. So what is the result we're going to obtain as in the output for this class statement number 4? X dot equals y. What would be the result? I almost gave you the answer. I have not yet got the answer to particular question number 4. System.out.println x dot equals y. Such a simple question. I have not yet got any answer from anybody. The result we're going to get is false. Okay, because X string is computer and the Y string is from application, so they are not the same. So the output we're going to get in value. I would call this number 20, but then we don't want to do it hurriedly. It might take us some time. I don't see this to be very, I don't, let's not take chances with it. So we'll do this in the next session. This problem number 20 onwards, we'll solve them in the next session. Some problems from this questions section, from this question set, section 2, I might assign you for homework. So check it out in your email. Meantime, we'll be stopping over here. Anybody has any query? We have done up to 19. 20 onwards, we'll do in the next week. Our next
So I just wanted to ask, the next lecture will be on Saturday, right?
Monday.
Okay.
Anybody has any doubts? That's all for today. We stop over here.